Welcome up to the stage, Sherwin.
Let's go,
What's up, 102? How y'all doing tonight? Yo, this is my first time here, and this is exciting. This is like the first open mic I've been in Mira Mesa, yo. So give it up for yourselves. Give it up for 102. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all decided to be here. Y'all are supporting art. Y'all are supporting small business. Yo, so give it up for yourselves. That's awesome. All right, cool. So I'm gonna do a poem for you guys.
Let's go, boys.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take your seat.
A recipe for fried rice. Ingredients: half a stick of Filipino barbecue pork, 2 eggs, 1 scallion, 2.5 cups of day-old rice, 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce, and 2 tablespoons of oil. Equipment: a chef's knife, a cutting board, a non-stick skillet, and a spatula. Dad used to make fried rice for breakfast, but since he had chemotherapy yesterday, he would tell you to do it instead. 1. Cut up the pork in 1/2-inch cubes. Chewing is one of the last luxuries that still makes him feel human. 2. Treat the scallion like you treat your repressed feelings. Wash them well, chop it up, and set aside. Remember, they are only a garnish. 3. Remember that day you found out your father was diagnosed with cancer? Remember the way your eyes shimmered? Well, heat the oil until it looks just like that. Then carefully place your cubed meat into the skillet to avoid splashing. Cook until crispy. But if that oil starts smoking the way you did for the first time in 2 years, take a step back, breathe, and turn down the heat before adding in your barbecue pork. 4. When you feel like breaking down, crack the eggs instead. Put them into the skillet. Mix up your meat and the eggs so they scramble evenly. Scramble like your emotions and the formalities of good morning, how are you are in remission. Scramble the words on your tongue so your lingering teenage angst doesn't burn that last bridge between you and your dying father. He's holding on to his life the way the day-old rice holds onto flavor. 5. Add in your rice. Warm it up just the way Dad's blood pressure warmed up in your American values and his Filipino culture couldn't stand the heat in the same kitchen. Side note: the grains of rice that stray away from the mass become hard and callous. So tell me, how are we supposed to unconditionally love family when their conservative mentality still makes you look at your wrist like it's a cutting board? 6. Add in the soy sauce. Add more soy sauce if that rice is not brown enough, because neither of you would be whitewashed or brown enough to understand each other's upbringing anyway. So we can just pretend here and don't worry about adding in too much soy sauce. The fried rice will never be as salty as you. 7. Throw in the scallions. Remember, fresh herbs taste best when added at the end of the cooking process. And although he wouldn't be able to tell nor care when you added them in, by now he is even more hungry. Don't let him count his days based on how many grains of rice are left on his plate, because this is not about you. Don't worry, you'll get your chance to hash out your differences over breakfast, because he will cook fried rice on his own again someday. 8. Scoop and serve the way I love you can never say. 9. Uneaten portions can be kept in an airtight container in the fridge for 3 days. Make sure to throw out any repressed feelings left over and your optimism doesn't spoil. 10. To reheat, add a tablespoon of water and microwave for 3 minutes. Dad will die on a Monday. And after the mortuary takes the body, and the hospice company takes their equipment, remind yourself to eat.